Shunda, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us and for the good people at home. Um, yeah, if you could tell us a little bit about your background and specifically a little bit regarding your history with your short-term rental, that'd be great.
So I initially purchased my first Airbnb in 2023 of October, and um, and I just got started in January of last year. But I noticed that the Houston market is very was very saturated, and a lot of people were kind of just giving their Airbnbs like away as
Like
far as
selling
renting
them,
them out. And I just well, not so much selling them, but
of course.
as far as just the nightly rates,
Yeah.
it'd be like $99, a night and things like that. I really knew I had a quality product. Um, so when I first started out, I was like, okay, I could just throw my stuff on, Price Labs. I should kind of be good to go. But I didn't realize that it was more to it than just putting your Airbnb like listing on Price Labs. So at any rate, I just felt like I wasn't getting the traction that I should. I came across Outlier and Ryan. We did like a Zoom call. And is it okay if I segue into this?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Take wherever you want.
Okay. So I spoke to Ryan and with Outlier, and he ended up looking at my listing and was very impressed. He said I had good photos and all that good stuff, and just said my listing was on point. What he was typically offering, he said that he didn't really feel like my listing, needed, how
Mm.
can I say it?
It was in great
Needed
shape when
a,
we first met.
yeah,
It was rock
yeah.
solid.
Yeah. Yeah. And so that's what he was saying. So he ended up kind of making a plan, coming up with something that would cater more toward me and would benefit me, and was willing to, come in on be able to say, well, we can't help you here, but this is where we can help you.
Mm.
And so I really do, I appreciate him for, kind of being honest with me and just catering to, what he felt my specific need, could, is, and just in an area where he felt that his company could benefit my business. So I really did appreciate him for that. And so yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, I think
yeah,
that's a big thing we're finding more and more is just the flexibility that you need as a host with a service provider like us. You all
yeah,
have the same goals, but you're coming at and you're kind of introducing your property to us all in different stages. Some are
right.
really needing a lot of help with some of the foundational pieces. Some of y'all have that figured out, and some
Mhm.
need, even beyond what we're even talking about today from an off-platform marketing perspective. Revenue's
Mhm.
got to support it. All those conversations are things that we really try to cater towards what you need most.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that's great. So talking a little bit more about yeah, if you don't mind, like, did you pursue any other services or talk to anybody else prior to signing on with Outlier?
So when I tell you I talked to several people, and a lot of people, of course, they wanted to take like 20%. They're like, oh, we can come in and manage it. And I didn't need anybody to come in and manage it. And that was a big chunk of money to part with. And just knowing I'm more hands-on. Again, I think the area that I needed the most help with was pricing. So when you guys, came in and I saw the listing as far as the prices, and I'm like, yeah, there's no way that anybody is going to rent my place for this amount of money. You guys proved me wrong. I love how you guys, again, and something I would have never thought of as it gets closer to the date, just being able to offer those, discounts. You guys came in February, like mid-January, but February, I mean, of course, compared to last year, I've seen like a big increase. So far, March has been my absolute best month. I think in March, I only had 2 days
Yeah.
that weren't booked, and that I think that was in between, 2 days. I think so. Yeah, I don't even think anybody could book. So yes, like March was my absolute like best month so far.
Yeah, I think we're having a pretty strong showing. I think last I checked, maybe 60 to 80% year over
Yeah,
year,
yeah,
somewhere in there.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely been a good experience. I think too, you hit on a lot of points that people are interested, somewhat knowledgeable about in terms of like that pacing method that you
Yeah.
described.
Hmm.
What we found in working with some other clients that were in the same boat have utilized Price Labs, Wheelhouse, Beyond. It's almost like it's pending your skill level anywhere from like 50-50 art and science or
Hmm.
even higher than that. The art side of it can be 70% in terms of, okay, I know like they're outlining what needs to happen, but the execution piece and understanding the art behind that science, I think is a crucial piece that sometimes can be hard to figure out. So you're
Yeah.
definitely not alone in that regard.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
I,
and kind of rounding out the conversation then, I think it's pretty obvious, but what would you say stands out, or what do you like best about working with Outlier?
I will say that you guys, the service has definitely paid for itself because I've I have no issues like paying you guys what that cost because again I'm getting that back and then some. You talk about definitely getting that return on my investment, and so I appreciate you guys for that. And just like I said, just being honest and upfront with me and willing to work with me and catering toward my specific needs. You guys are super easy to work with. Anytime I need you guys, customer service is on point. I don't know if you guys are a two-man show, but like I said, anytime I need anything or have any issues or questions, just appreciate you guys for just telling me to trust the process. And because I was like I said, at first I was like, yeah, no, there's no way nobody's gonna, rent my spot, but for that amount of money. But yeah, I mean, again, I'm more than happy and excited to see, what else kind of is in store and yeah, I just thank you guys for your service and just being willing to work with me and for the honesty and the transparency. Truly appreciate it.
Man. Well, thank you so much for the kind words, taking the time to chat with us. And like you said, I mean, we're only a couple months in here, and hopefully we can kind of keep this trajectory going. I want to get into next year, like we've had with some clients, where you're stacking January on top of another January. Like all those things are I think, heading your way if we kind of just keep the train moving. So, yeah, it's been great working with you so far. A lot ahead of us, obviously. But yeah, thanks for taking the time to chat.
Absolutely.